Hey, 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 what's up, folks? Michael here with Breath Tap. Good morning, good morning. May 6th, 2024. I did some tapping this morning, some meditation. I'm feeling great. I really elevated my state of being, and I'm ready to conquer the day, conquer the week, got the energy flowing. And I wasn't feeling that way the first couple minutes of the morning, I'll tell you that. But hey, feeling good. That's what tapping can do for you. Meditation, having a morning ritual is so important. And that kind of plays into this video topic. So, um, there's a whole lot that I could say about using EFT for happiness, tapping for happiness, feeling more happiness. Right? It's common for people to get confused on how could tapping be helpful for happiness if they don't feel that way. What is the key to happiness, right? And so I don't want to spend too much time talking because I want to do some tapping. So maybe I'll make several videos about this and we'll just kind of take one step at a time. But the first thing you need to realize is you may have heard the term or the phrase, the quote, happiness is an inside job, right? It's just kind of a fleeting little comment, but it's so true if you take a moment to stop and think about it, right? So many people, and I used to do this, I did this for decades. They chase happiness outside of them. They've been conditioned and under the illusion that happiness comes from things, from other people, from outside circumstances, from a certain amount of income, money, having certain things, right? And it's partially true, but it's maybe 10% or less true. And what I mean by that is, yes, when you get something you really want, you feel happy. You feel happy. But here's the thing, that happiness is just kind of a novelty, right? It wears off. That excitement you feel when you get something, let's say you won a bunch of money or you got a new job making a lot more money, there is happiness there, right? You feel the joy, you get those dopamine hits, you talk about it, you share it with other people, you really enjoy it. But a certain amount of time goes by and all of a sudden you realize you still feel the same you felt before it happened, right? You go back into that same state of being. You're like, oh, it's weird. It's like all of a sudden I'm almost not happy anymore. Oh, maybe I need to get this now. And that's the vicious cycle people fall into. Now, well, if I get this, then I'll be happy. If this person acted this way, then I'll be happy. If I make this amount of money, then I'll be happy. It turns into this vicious cycle. And some people live it their entire lives. If I get this, I'll be happy. They get it. Well, if I get this, I'll be happy. They get it. It's always going to wear off. It's just like a novelty item. It's like you get it, you're excited, and then you forget about it. And what's not changing is you. You're still the same person. You still have the same habits. You still have the same thought patterns, the same triggers. Internally, as a human being, your state of being hasn't changed. When you get something you really want, it's exciting in the moment. And maybe it's a couple weeks, couple months, maybe a couple years, but that wears off. The novelty of it wears off. You come back to that same state of being. So whatever you were before that, which is a compilation of your thought patterns, right? Your state of being, how you are normally. If you were a sad sack, right? If you were a sad sack normally, someone who's really wanting a lot, someone who's living in a state of fear, uncertainty, doubt, or just wanting, right? I need this, I need this, I need this, I want this. You're going to be that same person still. That doesn't actually change when you get what you want. So that's where you need to start to become present of that. And you've got to start to feel happy before anything happens. In fact, you can't even rely on anything happening. Maybe you do want to make more money. Maybe you do want this certain type of relationship, or you want this person to be a certain way. If you're going to rely on that, then you'll never be happy. You'll always come back to the same person you were before you got it, even if you get it. That's why you have, I mean, look at how many celebrities have committed suicide because they reach such great levels of success, fame, fortune, all that, and then they commit suicide. They're chasing happiness outside of them. They're chasing the circumstances outside of them and relying on it for happiness. And then they realize there's something missing inside, or there's the same person inside, and that hasn't changed. That's where EFT comes in handy. When you could start to shift that dependency on outside things to bring you happiness, and you shift it inward, where you're generating happiness for even the littlest things, like taking a sip of coffee and being so grateful for that. Realizing that you're alive right now and being grateful that you get to breathe thousands of times a day and just be alive. You start to generate internal happiness. You're not relying on anything except yourself. And you start to break down negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because a lot of people are just living in a state of fear, state of stress. A lot of people become addicted to stress, where they're addicted to complaining, focusing on what they don't want. You got to shift that stuff for true happiness. And what's amazing is when you start to make those shifts and your default mode is happiness, then things that you really do want start to just come to you automatically, even without you focusing on them. You could still focus on them, but you're not relying on them for happiness because you're already happy. You're happy now. You're happy now. And then when you get something, it's even more exciting. And you know what? When that excitement wears off, no big deal. You're still happy. Can you start to get the hint of how that works? It may be a brain F, right? A brain F to try to wrap your mind around it. But when you do start to understand, you become present of it, aware, you're like, wow, holy crap, I am responsible for my happiness. And when you start to feel that way normally, when you're happy for no reason, just because it's your default mode, you really open yourself up to things that you want. It's amazing. It'll blow your mind, things that'll come to you that you would want, right? So I ended up talking a lot longer than I wanted to, but I'm just trying to get this point across. So let's tap now for happiness. Let's tap on becoming more present and aware of what I'm talking about, right? Let's start to cultivate it internally. Let's start to instill it in our subconscious mind. Let's do this shit. Let's be happy. You know why? Because that's our default mode. I'm happy now. And if you're not happy now, you need to tap. You need to break down those old thought patterns, those old triggers, those old state of beings that are holding you back. Tap, 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 tap every day. You may want to do some other things, meditation, visualization, breath work. There's a lot of things you could do, somatic tools like tapping that could bring you into alignment with that happiness that is truly an inside job. So here we go. Even though I don't believe a thing Michael's saying, he's telling me that happiness is an inside job. And I don't know if I believe that. I don't get it. I'm happy when I get what I want. But I choose to love, honor, and accept myself right now and be open to what he is saying. Maybe there's some truth in it. He seems happy. And even though I don't know if I totally buy into this, happiness is an inside job. How can I generate happiness when I'm not getting the things I want or feeling the way I want to feel? I don't know if I believe it. I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. And even though I'm trying to understand how to generate happiness when I just don't feel happy right now, I don't have the relationship I want, the money I want. I don't feel the way I want to feel. I don't have the health I want. I don't have the things I need and want in order to feel happy. So how the hell do I feel happy in those circumstances? I am a sad sack right now. I love, honor, and accept myself anyway. And I forgive myself for being trapped in this vicious cycle of unhappiness. I'm just not feeling that happy right now. Michael's telling me happiness is an inside job. And I'm tapping on it. Tapping on my face right now, talking about happiness. I don't feel very happy. I need certain circumstances in order to be happy. It's true. I need certain things to be in order for me to be happy. I'm not feeling happy right now. I'm not feeling happy right now. Michael's telling me happiness is an inside job. I don't believe it. When I get what I want and feel what I want, then I'll be happy. When I have the relationship I want and that person is acting the way I want them to act, then I'll be happy. When I feel healthy and energetic and vibrant, then I'll be happy. When I have the income, the job of my dreams, then I'll be happy. I need all these things, and then I'll be happy. I don't understand how happiness is an inside job. Happiness is conditional, right? I mean, those things that I want will bring me happiness. Well, that's a bunch of nonsense. Yes, it is. That is nonsense. Happiness is not conditional. How can having the job of my dreams bring me happiness? Happiness is an emotion. It's felt internally. How can something outside of me actually give me that feeling inside of me? If I break this down and think about it, it's my reaction to something that generates the happiness, right? If I get something I want right now, right here in front of me, $1 million right here on the floor, I feel that happiness, right? But did that item actually trigger something inside of me? No. It's my interpretation of it that did. It's my thoughts about the things outside of me that trigger the emotions inside of me. Let's say it again, baby. It's the thoughts, the interpretations of the things outside of me that trigger the emotions inside of me. Happiness, sadness, joy. It's a reaction. And guess what? Reactions wear off. Yes, even within me. I see something that brings me a lot of joy and happiness. At a certain point in time, it wears off. It always does. And that's good news, because when I see something that upsets me, angers me, it wears off. I don't stay angry forever. Hopefully not. But unfortunately, I've been running thought patterns that do keep me stuck in this needy, wanting state of being. Say it again. I've been running thought patterns that I'm not even aware of for the most part, that keep me stuck in a state of wanting, consuming, needing in order to be happy. My happiness is very conditional, and that's not the way God intended it. It's not the way the universe works. If I want true happiness perpetually, I need to generate it from within myself without relying on anything. I choose to be open to the idea that happiness is an inside job. I choose to be open to the idea that happiness is an inside job, that I can trigger happiness at any point in time, regardless of what's going on around me. I'm open to the idea that I can shift my predominant state of being, my predominant thought patterns and beliefs from needing and wanting to happiness, health, wealth, joy, gratitude, grace, that I could generate that from within at any point in time. I'm going to start to believe that happiness is an inside job. I'm going to start to believe that if I can feel happiness now, that I could generate happiness in my mind and my body by giving gratitude for everything around me, every little thing, even the things I don't want, because they help me clarify what I do want. I'm open to believing that that's going to shift my state of being, my thought patterns, that I'm going to start to be happier more often and for no reason. I choose to be open to the idea that happiness can be my default mode. I am open to believing what Michael says, that when happiness is my default mode, that I'm just going to naturally attract more of it into my life in such amazing ways that I'll have bliss attacks, happiness attacks, that's right. Free of fear, free of uncertainty, doubt, stress. And yes, those things will come up. But when they do, I am open to having the emotional intelligence to let those things subside quickly and just disappear, because my default operating mode of my mind and my body is happiness, health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, and joy. I'm going to laugh about it because it's awesome. My default mode is happiness, therefore attracting more happiness to me, attracting more of what I want. I'm now allowing myself to be happy as my default mode. I'm now allowing myself to be happy for happiness' sakes. I'm choosing to allow myself to be happy without needing and wanting anything. I'm choosing to let go of conditional happiness. I'm choosing to let go of the needing and wanting. And yes, I could still focus on the things that I want, but guess what? I'm not relying on them for happiness any longer. I rely on myself for happiness. I'm choosing to rely on myself for happiness from this point forward, letting go of circumstances that hold me back, limiting beliefs that hold me back. I'm choosing to rely on myself for happiness. I'm choosing to generate happiness from within every day. I'm choosing to give gratitude for all the wonderful things in my life. A sip of coffee, fresh air that I breathe, waking up each and every morning, looking at the beautiful blue sky, the green leaves on the trees, having family and friends around me, having conditioned air in my home. So many things to be grateful for. I am happy. I choose to generate my happiness from within. And I know by doing that, I will get everything I've ever desired. In fact, I choose to create memories of the things that I want as if they already happened. I choose to be happy now for things that haven't happened yet, but I won't even know because I feel like they have. That's how happy I am. Happiness is my default mode from this point forward. I am happy, baby. Happiness is an inside job, and I know it now, baby. In body, mind, heart, and spirit. All right, deep breath in. And let it go. Shake it out. That was a lot of tapping. That's a lot of tapping. So I hope this made sense. Go back and do it again. I know I did a lot of talking in the beginning, but happiness is not, it's not that hard if you could start to grasp the concept and realize that it truly is an inside job, that nothing outside you is going to bring lasting happiness. It's always going to be fleeting and short-lived. Might be a week, a day, a year, depending on what it is. But you're going to go back to your default mode. And so what is that? That's how you are now. That's how you're going to be. So start to generate it from within. All right, baby. We'll see you.